Hello all my fellow Minecraft enthusiasts, I am Mcnerd, and today is part 3 of recreating Scala ed Caelum in Minecraft. This is part 3 in this series, so if you are new here, be sure to check out parts 1 and 2. This episode is filling in the details that we have yet to see, as well as my interpretation of the graveyard seen in Darkroad. Unfortunately, since there's just so much left in this project, there's going to be a part 4. This part will be covering the rest of the basic island. Part 4 will be adding minor details as well as creating the insides of the houses and other details of this nature. Because it's the only other part of Scala we've seen so far, minus the dark courtyard that doesn't look like it's even on this island, I decided to build the graveyard first. From looking at thumbnails, the graveyard appears to take up about a quarter of the island. I decided to add small sections of buildings on each end of the area due to the gate looking into the breezy quarter section, because this is what we see in Kingdom Hearts 3. I know this isn't exactly accurate, but at this point, I'm proud of my own take on this project. And we don't know what the actual thing is going to look like just yet. So I just decided to get going. In the actual game, Kingdom Hearts 3, using mods we are able to explore this half of the island. And we see that it's made up of the far used buildings. The windmills on the top and low textured houses that don't look anything like the ones that belong in the playable areas. Plus, the island isn't even a full island, it's just what the player can see. Then it's empty. Likewise, I decided to build it the way that the lore of the game says it should be. I continue to use the same assets that are in the other sections, using the tramcar clock tower thing in every other section divider in order to make it so that transport to the upper floors of Scala is more open. Then, I built my way back towards the graveyard section building in a way that doesn't really make sense to Kingdom Hearts. But I'm building this in Minecraft, so I'm making it in a way that's functional in Minecraft. The sections that we see clearly, I built accurate to the game-ish. The sections we don't explore, I'm going to go a lot more freestyle with. How I decided to make the graveyard is a prime example of this. Although we see in Kingdom Hearts that there are many hills, a fence in the background, and a building behind it, I'm building my version on a 45-degree angle with an edge cutout. This works in Minecraft because Minecraft is a square game. Oh. But this is definitely not how it is in Kingdom Hearts. A lot of this project has been copy-pasting assets all over the place. But that's the architecture style that the creator seems to be going for. Even though all the houses are very similar, most of them have a small tweak on the base design. When I look at Scala, I see the lower sections having their own section based on a theme. The graveyard section is based on grief. The Stairway to the Sky section is based off closeness. The breezy quarter section is based on exploration, which doesn't seem like a theme until you realize that Ephemer's whole journey began when he decided to explore the off-limits sewers beneath Daybreak Town. And there's literally the same thing in the breezy quarter. Because I am building more than half of this by my sheer creativity, I took a day or two to decide what I wanted the theme to be on my sections. First, I wanted a section that would be rather small, but had something we don't see on the island. Something that is very important to the Kingdom Hearts series. Somewhere where friends can go, have a good time, and shift their feet in the sand. A beach. Sora lives on one, Roxas yearns for one, and Xehanort can't wait to get off one. Higher up in this section, I left a decent-sized courtyard that could be used by the Key Kids as a sparring ground, tennis court. Who knows? That's a problem for next video, Mcnerd. The second small section that I'm going to be making is going to be based off small community. All the houses are gonna be close together, much like the rest of Scala, but they're also going to double as a courtyard area high above the others. The final section I don't really have an idea for. It's just basically filler at this point. But it's pretty big and it has its own things going on, so I think it's pretty interesting. Much like the Breezy Quarter. Speaking of the Breezy Quarter, check out this. Check this out. This is looking at the Breezy Quarter from the Stairway to the Sky section. This is looking at the same section on the other side of the same wall. It's completely different! I know this is because the creators didn't actually make the Breezy Quarter until the DLC came out. But it's really, really obvious. The raised pillar sections aren't even there. It's completely linear, rising as it goes closer to the center instead of being relatively flat. And this windmill thing that is very obviously here isn't here. So since Kingdom Hearts can't even decide how the island looks, I'm gonna do what I want. I'm gonna skip over the next few sections because it's super repetitive and I essentially do the same thing I've done 4 times now, so we're skipping it. The next big part of this project is the higher floors. It's gigantic and has very little space for the buildings, but it's the most iconic part of Scala. It's the stairway part of the Stairway to the Sky. So I made the platforms in a way that they could hold the buildings and have enough space for a good walkway. And I pretty much just free-handed this as well because Kingdom Hearts isn't very particular about these parts. And again, it's just using low poly buildings in order to save space on the Kingdom Hearts disc. So for this part, I essentially just spam the buildings that we've already used and make different versions of them. But I also add in these cylindrical windmills because they are a good iconic part of Scala that hasn't been really shown off in this project so far because the lower floors don't have them. I then went and built an inside to one of the windmill walls, and I decided to make the rooms go all the way down to the bottom and have a hole so that I could decide if I wanted it to go into Scala or not. And really, all that's left for today's video is filling in a bunch of buildings that are super repetitive. They're all over the island, and now they're all over the top of the island too. Aside from a few grass breaks here and there, it's all the same. I know in the original game there's also the tram rails breaking in every now and then, but without the other islands, they don't really make sense, and I'm not sure how I want to do them. So for now, I'm just going to have the normal houses, and yeah. This project is very close to done now. With a grand total of 4.5 days of work on this project now, I can definitely say I'm proud of it. It's almost done. It's the biggest Minecraft project I've ever done, and it's taken me forever. It's my baby. It's my favorite thing I've done all year. It's probably my second favorite project I've done at all on this channel, and I'm sad to see it end. But thankfully, it's not quite done yet. There's still next video, and we're gonna use it as a hide-and-seek map with Gizwa, Fury, and Hobbs in the future. Don't know when, don't know where, but it's happening, and it'll probably become a video at some point. So with all that said, thank you guys for watching, and I don't say this often, but please like and subscribe if you want more content from me. That's gonna be it for this video. Thank you for watching, and remember, may your heart be your guiding key.